All righty, everybody. Sorry about that. When I got home from work and picking up the suburban today, we had the wife was cleaning out her car apparently this afternoon, and since the pressure washer was out and the soap was out and everything, it was like, all right, you need to wash your car too. And mine desperately, very badly needed it. Very badly needed washed. So that's what I was trying to do. At the same time, she was wanting to ask about this and ask about that. So it's Mrs. Urban's fault. It's all her fault. Yeah. Um. No. That was not into the hot sauce, but I do need to take a shit. I thought about doing that, but I was like, nah, I'm making these fellows wait long enough as it is. So, how was y'all's week? How was everybody's week? I know a handful of, well, most of y'all were in Grumpy's live last night with me. Got to see y'all. I didn't get to do shout outs because I was on the phone. My computer was being taken over by the rest of the family. So, but it was nice. It was nice chilling out on the back patio there with some strong breeze going from all the weather that came from Texas and whatnot. I know some people up north. Where was it? Was it Ohio or Pennsylvania or somewhere that ended up with a tornado? And then was it early this morning or overnight that New York had a freaking earthquake? So like all kinds of crazy weather shit's been going on over the last 48 hours or so for like 90% of the country. But yeah, so yeah, that was cool. Grumpy had a good live last night. I love that he does those shout outs. That he makes note of people who need prayers and mentions them. I think it's wonderful that he does that. I'm not gonna double up on it or anything, but it is great. If you didn't see and weren't a part of Grumpy's live last night in the chats, then I of course recommend that you go back and watch it and read all of our fun comments that we put. But hold on a second. Hey, y'all be quiet. I'm live. Don't fight over the boiled peanuts now. Ugh. About once a month, that's a treat for them. We get one of those big ass cans of boiled peanuts, and that's their Friday afternoon snack after school. But let's see who all's in here. As usual, Broke Ass Knives. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, man? How's that speaker working? You like those little speakers? I think they're freaking awesome. Uh, that's why I love giving them out to people and sharing the love of music. I absolutely love my music. Big with my music. Dang Ross, how you doing? Your power just went out. What you got going on? What nasty weather are you getting? LCap, how you doing, sir? B&A in the house. What? Sharp guy, how are you? Good. We got a good little group. Oh, we have a missus in the house. We got a lady in the chats. How you doing, Kathleen Smith? How are you? Having a good week? So, oh, high winds. Got you. um, so last Friday's live, which was a good live. I had fun with you guys. But Saturday we had. Well, I mean, we had a busy weekend. We always have a busy weekend, but last weekend was a pretty busy weekend. We had the what they call the blessing of the fleet, which is a coastal thing where all of your shrimp boats and crabbing boats are up in Maine. It's your lobster boats, whatever your fishing vessels of whatever catch. they line up and go through the harbor and have a blessing done by different religious. I mean, whether it's a Baptist or Methodist or Catholic, just whatever blesses, gives a blessing onto each boat as they pass underneath the bridge. Is everywhere I've been, it's always as they go under the bridge. But they get a blessing for hopes of a good fishing season, a wealthy fishing season, a prosperous season, and that nothing bad goes wrong. Because believe me, those fishing vessels, a lot of shit could go wrong. And speaking of that, it's an amazing, incredibly good book that I read when I was a young teenager, and then the movie is damn near just as good. I mean, I still, as most films are, read the book first, because you get more out of the book. There's more details, there's more specifics, and it's just a better rounded out story line with the book that they can't quite do in the movies. But nonetheless, if you can get around to reading the book, read the book. But if you can't, or if you don't or won't, then watch the movie of this amazing story called. Let me pull it up. You should read The Hunt for the Red October and watch the Hunt for the Red October, but that's not that's not the one I was thinking of. The Perfect Storm. A few of y'all may have read the book or seen the movie already, because it is an amazing. George Clooney's in it, and he does pretty good. I know some people are not that big of a fan of George Clooney. He's kind of hit or miss with different films that he's in. But yeah. The Perfect Storm is an awesome book and film. Let me. Can I just get a big picture of it? Come on now. And present. Share screen. There you go. The Perfect Storm. It's a true story of men against the sea, written by Sebastian Junger, however you pronounce it, with J, or with the J being silent. But yeah, it as you can see, it was a New York Times bestseller back in the day. The movie itself was actually done in 2000, came out in the year 2000. But it excellent movie. Absolutely does a fantastic job portraying what it's like for fishermen in the New England states area. Let me share this picture. Here's a picture of the group of fellas. There we are. There's the fellas. There's the group. Clooney's right there in the back with the beanie cap on. But yeah, it was a good cast and good actors, and it was just extremely well done. But yes, so that's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a really, really good one. Did you? Yeah, it's an amazing movie to see on a big screen too. It was scary though. You on a boat trip, and storm came in the next morning. I was on one of the cruises that I went on back in I want to say it was 2001. It was the summer after the movie Castaway came out, and the cruise ship we were on was playing that film over and over again on one of their channels. So you turn any of the TVs on in the cruise ship, and you go to the one channel, and you're watching Castaway back to back, 24/7 for the entire length of the cruise. Like, what a better movie to pick for on a cruise ship, right? It's so stupid. But that's that. Yeah, it was funny. I thought it was funny having that as a film playing on a cruise ship, Castaway. Or even worse, it could have been a movie that was shown on a plane in your in-flight movie. But yeah, so that's a really good film, amazingly well written book. If you like to read the books. But anyway, so back to the story that has a hilarious finish to it. I'll do what I can to try to jump to it. But anyway, so Blessing of the Fleet in a town up north of our town, and we were there and this last Saturday and in the evening to watch the fireworks that display that they put on, and on after the fireworks were over and everybody left, we kind of sat and waited for that to happen. So as we had to go back through the food court area back to the car, and it was me, Mrs. Urban, and Suburban, little man, and as my older son elected to stay at home and be the loser teenager that he is, he just doesn't like to go out these days for whatever reason. Which is all right because he's kind of grouchy these days. Anyways, he's in that stage. He's just about to be 15 years old, and he's in that phase that most of us went through. Where just like we're trying to figure our shit out and ending up hating the world at the same time, and not wanting to be bothered by anybody, and only do what we want to do when we want to do it. I remember when I was like that. Huh? Bullshit. You did too go through that phase. I'm sure you did. Mrs. Urban is in denial. It's not so much the ladies that go through it, it's the dudes that struggle through that. And again, and not all of us, but I would say many fellas going through puberty at that point in time. So, anyways, back to my story again. Thanks for the rude interruption, Mrs. Urban. I just love you so freaking much, Mrs. Urban. Just like I made you wash your car. Yeah, she made me wash my car. I am the Shush! She wants me to clean up the garage tomorrow, and that's not what I want to do. I want to go ride the bike tomorrow. I just want to spend half of my day riding the motorcycle. I'll get her to come with me for a couple hours. Where? So that I don't have to clean up the garage.
Oh no, I'm gonna help because I'm gonna be the one that's throwing everything away.
Hey, hook me up with a few boiled peanuts, please. Pretty, please. Jerks. So we were going through the food court, and everybody was packing their stuff up and trying to close down their food trucks. So to be ready for tomorrow, or that Sunday, when they were going to open back up in the morning. So, everybody was packing up. All the food trucks were trying to get their stuff all packed up and cleaned up, and fryers cleaned and pots and pans washed and that kind of stuff, right? And whatever little bit of food left, they probably what they can't absolutely for sure use the next day, they trash. Well, Riley, Suburban, wanted a lemonade, right? It was a lemonade. Thank you. Love you. Mm-hmm. You're not too terrible. She brought me some boiled peanuts. Where's my shell bowl?
You were asking for too much.
I'm asking for too much. We keep having to pause the story, but ah! I just dripped peanut juice all over my pants. I can't throw these in the trash can because then the trash can will stink. I need another container. Oh, you're doing a pole barn?
I'm trying to finish cleaning out the car. I'm not done yet.
Thank you.
Maddie, you tell your friends stop being annoying.
Are these the spicy peanuts?
Yes.
Well, shit. Good thing I got some bourbon with me. Mmm. I love boiled peanuts. So, anyways, Riley went over to Suburban, went over per Mrs. Urban's request to find out what price the said lemonades were, the big cup of lemonade. And Riley went over there and asked, and the dude behind the counter just straight up hooked him up. So he didn't pay for any. This big ass like 40-ounce cup of lemonade for free. Totally got hooked up. So yeah. They probably charged like $4 or $5 for a damn cup of lemonade, but Suburban got it for free. So they also had, with all the other food, they had funnel cakes. I don't know how any of y'all feel about funnel cakes, but I absolutely love funnel cakes. Really, really, really get obsessed over funnel cakes. And so Mrs. Urban wanted to buy me a funnel cake, and she kept asking me. Do you want a funnel cake? I'll get you a funnel cake. They were $5, which isn't that bad. Usually, a lot of times they're 6 or 7.
Oh, I just got dizzy.
Standing out in that sun.
Doesn't help when her hangover.
Yeah. So jokingly, I was like, no, I don't need a funnel cake, but I bet if Riley goes over there, he could get one for free.
Sure enough.
And sure enough, Suburban went over there, and 5 or 6 minutes later, he's walking off with a free funnel cake. Sure enough, like just totally, he was polite, he was respectful, he put on his little boyish charm, and he still has, being 7 years old. And he got a free lemonade and a free funnel cake. He basically got about $8, $9 or $10 worth of food and drink for free. And it was right around 10 o'clock at night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty much closing up.
Yep. So that was pretty sweet. Went home, ate a funnel cake. We watched a movie and then passed out for the night. So good evening. That's always can be a challenge when cities rezone property lines and districts and all that shit. Hey, there's Robert. How you doing, man? How was your week? I ended up working. No, I didn't work every day. I was off Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning we had to take all 3 of the kids to the dentist, to a very busy dentist, and it took us probably 2.5 hours to get all 3 of them done, said and done.
Yeah, and Little Urban got cavities again.
Yeah.
Jinx, was mine.
Yeah, out of the 3 kids, the one that does the best in being consistent in brushing his teeth twice a day. He's the one who ends up with the cavities.
My curse.
Apparently, it's bad genes on Mrs. Urban's side.
Weak enamel.
I don't know. My parents don't have the greatest luck with dental hygiene either. I'm the oddball. I'm the one that doesn't do shit and ends up never having any cavities.
We don't know that. You haven't been to the dentist in years.
Yeah, I haven't been to the dentist in about a decade. But I haven't gone to the doctor for any ailments either. I went to one time to try to beg for a small container of hydrocodone or Vicodin or something for major pain relief. The random times that I overexert my back, and because of the war on opioids and the government being so worried about opioid addiction. Not that they're worried about fentanyl these days, but they sure were worried about people getting addicted to Oxycontin, hydrocodone, and Vicodin, and whatever. It's a bunch of stupid bullshit.
I know people just enjoy seeing you eat.
Yeah, y'all having fun watching me eat boiled peanuts. I'll cut back on it. I'll give it a rest.
Slurping over.
Yeah, slurping everything. At least it ain't like escargot or something.
Yeah.
Who likes escargot?
Gross.
What's the other one? Calamari, right? Fried squid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that on rare occasions. If I'm in the mood for it, I'll eat some has to be deep fried. It has to be fried. It has to be fried calamari. Has to be covered in enough fried batter. Hey, Ginger's here. How are ya? How are you? How are you? Oh, I got the Buc-ee's hat on today. It had to sit the whole week. It sat and with the bill inside of a coffee mug, in your standard coffee mug, to get it to curve the right amount, the perfect amount. That's the ticket. It's got to spend at least 5 or 6 days in a coffee mug. That gives you the perfect curve. Gons, where you going, man? What you doing? You working?
He doesn't want to hear you slurping peanuts.
I stopped with the damn peanuts, okay? What'd y'all carry this week? Besides the Pulse OTF. The last couple of days I've had this guy in the pocket. The beautiful Finch Hellfire. And I did get around, I think last weekend or so. At one point I finally took the scales off and took them to the buffer and put some wax and buffed them, because they really did look like, if you looked at it from the side here sideways, you could see streak lines going horizontally across the scales, like they just straight up cut it and drilled the holes and slapped it on there. Like, so I took them off and I buffed them up pretty good and smoothed them out a little bit, and made them look a lot cleaner, a lot better than when I got it. This is and the lock stick, I've got just the littlest bit of lock stick. And it seems like the more I carry it, the more I flick it, it's going away. But it's still there. It's a little unfortunate, but I know that it's It's not Finch's fault. It's not who's Finch's OEM. Is it QSP? Who makes Finch knives? Oh, you got to see him and at the Finch at the shop? Did you really? Because they had them at Blade Show last year. They were showing them off at Blade Show last year. That's who I thought it was. Dang Ross, I was pretty sure it was QSP. But yeah, this is the first Finch that I've gotten, that I've had or handled. Period. Had in my fingers that had lock stick and any imperfections. Well, I guess some people would not say that the way the scales were would be necessarily an imperfection, but to me it kind of was, because they had this version. I almost KC'd the knife and dropped it on the computer keyboard. I caught it, but yeah, they had this version, and they had the one. I think they had the white bone jigged one. I forget. You know what? I have a picture.
We're going to see Ford tomorrow.
I have a picture in my Blade Show folder. Nah, I won't worry about it. Is it in my knives shortcut? I have a shortcut that just says knives. No, I don't think that folder's in there. It might be on my. I don't know where those speakers are. Is it on my external hard drive? It's not that one. It's not there. No, I'm not sure where that folder is. Where my Blade Show folder is on my computer. It's somewhere. Oh, it's probably in Fun Stuff. I have a folder named Fun Stuff. I have a very weird way of labeling all my folders for photos and videos and whatnot. I thought it was in here. Yeah, I'm not sure where it's at. Uh-oh. I know I didn't lose it. You know, I should probably just do a search. I often forget to do that, to use my search bar for folders, names, and stuff. Plan on having a custom fixie made someday. What button lock do you have? What are you talking about, BNA? What did I miss? Oh. Oh, the silver carbon fiber. This guy. Yes. Yeah. You got the silver carbon fiber is pretty sweet. I'm not that big of a fan of carbon for your standard type carbon fiber, but the silver really makes it pretty badass. Yeah, the Asher is sweet with the Warncliffe blade. S90V, $135. Hell yeah. What else happened this week that was funny besides last weekend with Riley and the getting all the free stuff, the free food? Wasn't there another funny thing that happened this week?
Funny thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Tesla thing. None of y'all drive a Tesla, right? If you do, I'm sorry. Well, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
That was yesterday.
Yeah, straight up yesterday. We were driving across town to go to Sam's Club for some stuff, and at the light there in the left hand turn lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. I'm gonna bash on Tesla. No shit. In the left hand turn lane, at the front of the turn lane, a Tesla was sitting there, just sitting there, with struggling and unable to move. Like they couldn't move. They had their hazards on, then they had the turn signal on, and then the whole thing shut off. It was just, I don't know what was going on with it. If the battery was dying or something. But the cop finally showed up, put his lights on, rolled up in front of it, and got out like he was going to be able to help him with anything.
He was just like, nope.
And yeah, he realized that there's nothing he could do. Like if they can't get the car to move on its own,
ended up getting a tow truck.
Yeah, they end up getting a tow truck. That's what they had to do. So we don't have no idea whether or not the battery died on it or got so low to where it wouldn't drive, or what the deal was with it.
It was a woman driver.
It was a woman driver.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that has something to do with it.
Well, we're not good at keeping gas on our car, so let alone making our cars charged.
You're willing to admit that?
Yeah, because I only had 10 miles to empty when I picked up the car this morning.
So that was pretty funny because I actually rolled down my window and shouted out to the cop. I said, they probably should have stuck with a gas vehicle. And he gave me the thumbs up and laughed about it. Not that in that situation that would have made it any different, because whether it's running out of gas or it's running out of battery juice, either way, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but it runs out of gas. There's a gas station right there.
Yeah, that's the thing is if when a vehicle runs out of gas, you can usually get somebody who's got a gas can to run down to the corner and get you some gas. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have to tow the electric cars, because you can't just let the car sit there in the middle of the freaking road for an hour and a half so it can charge up.
Apparently, when something like that happens to a Tesla, there's like an unlock code that they have to get, and if the battery goes dead, it's like $3,000.
$3,000?
Yeah.
For what? For a code that unlocks what?
No, for the battery. Like if the battery goes completely dead,
Oh,
you can't charge it, and it's like $3,000 to replace the battery. Shit, you might as well just buy a new car.
No, well, what do Teslas cost? About $60,000 to $80,000.
Yeah, something like
The Stark electric dirt bike. Does that thing really have 80 horsepower? Well, horsepower equivalent, like it's electric, so it's technically not horsepower. It's the what do they measure it by, joules or something? I don't know. I'm not so knowledgeable about batteries. I just know that the Energizer lithium batteries don't leak acid and hold their charge longer than your regular alkalines, and they weigh less. And lithium's always way less than your regular batteries. That's about all I know. Ian says a new Tesla battery, and it costs over $15,000.
Oh, 15,000.
Yeah, $15,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
A friend of mine that said it was 3,000.
You could get a 2005 Toyota Camry for for $15,000.
Shit. I'll just stick to my gas vehicles.
Yep. We will definitely stay with our gas vehicles. We are not jumping on that bandwagon anytime soon. Hopefully never.
Yeah, hopefully.
The problem really is just that that our transportation industry is just not set up. We don't have the infrastructure yet for the mass numbers of electric vehicles to travel. We just don't. We're not built for that yet. There's just not enough charging stations, not enough electricity. The power grid is just not ready for that, and it's not going to be for at least another decade or two. And then T-Fetch, being a brilliant man, there's that too.
What do you say?
It still burns coal to charge them. He said, "Stupid tards, stupid tards." Put that on a. It seems like anything and everything that we come up with as a community, as silly disses or insults, for the sake of humor, needs to be submitted to Forrest to be put on a Hank. I love it. That's the other thing I've been carrying all week is my Suck It Gary Hank. It's in my back corner pocket. Yeah, so I've had this guy with me all freaking week. I love it. Forrest does such an amazing job with those Hanks. He really does. And I got my Lancelot leather lunch tray, EDC tray here installed. I got my desk pull out, the slide out keyboard drawer that I don't use for the keyboard. I use it for the tray to sit on. So yeah. What do y'all think about? I'm sure the wife would be all for it, but if I'm seriously contemplating the idea of going and making at least a dozen or more. I mean, I would start with about a dozen before I put them up on the EDC roundtable. But bowls, the small bowls. Y'all think I should do that? And what price point? Again, they're small bowls, so they're like about 5 inches in diameter on the opening part of it. They're not big. They're nice little change bowls. Takes me all together. It takes me about 2.5 hours. Takes me about 20 minutes to cut out the blanks and mount them. About 20 to 25 minutes to cut out the blanks and mount them. They're for anything, Ian, but yeah, they can be for boiled peanuts. And it takes me about an hour and a half to with all the chisels to shape it and hollow it out. And then it takes me about another 25 minutes or so for sanding and staining, well, not staining, but putting the treatment, the oil treatment and stuff on it, and then sanding it some more and wiping it down. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. I was thinking, and it takes me all together roughly 2.5 to 3 hours per bowl. And the wood, for the most part, I'm getting the wood for free. I probably use up about between the sandpaper and the oil finish, and the wear and tear on the chisels, maybe $5 to $7 per bowl is what it costs me in materials. As long as I'm not having to buy wood. So would 25 or $30? Well, and then I got cost of shipping, so $30 or $35. That's really, at the end of the day, is only giving me about a somewhere between $9 and $12 profit per bowl, which I'm okay with. I'm mostly doing it just because I like doing it, and I like that people appreciate my work. So I mean, technically, I'd be selling myself short for my skills and my time, but well, like here, I'll put up I'll share a photo of Todd Carr's the last bowl that I did.
Cody, you got to share them.
We're gonna put the photos of Todd's bowl.
Riley, do you need one more bowl of peanuts? One more bowl of peanuts? Oh, Zoe don't want any more.
I'm looking for where the pictures are. Of the bowls. All right, here's here's Maddie's bowl. So there's Maddie's bowl. And again, that's like from the hollowed out inside dimensions from the diameter of that is about 5 inches, somewhere right about 5 inches. There's a bit of more of a side view of it. So yeah, I mean, that's basically the size bowls that I can do on my small wood lathe that I have. I'm not doing pipes again. Like, I honestly, I absolutely loved the challenge. That's not even a bowl. I absolutely love the challenge of doing, having done Stevie's tobacco pipe, but I feel like there's a lot of luck in the success of it. I know some of you are going to be like, you're just not giving yourself enough credit. No, I honestly, having gone through the process of making it, it was quite a bit of work, and I really enjoyed learning how to do it and make one as well as I could, as perfect as possible, or close to perfect as possible. But I don't think I could crank out a handful of them. I just don't think I could. Here is was this is Stevie's bowl, which actually is a lidded bowl. Now the lidded ones would have to, because it takes me an extra 30 minutes to do the lid part. There's several more steps involved in doing that. But here's this is Stevie's lidded bowl that I made. It came out really nice too. That was a great piece of wood. That's what she said. But yeah, lidded bowls would have to be a solid $40. And it started out, that was the blank. That's what I started with. Yeah, and I got videos on doing all of this. So if you go to my woodworking playlist on my channel, I've got videos on how I did just about every single one of these that I did for more than a handful of guys in the community here. But yeah, I kind of feel like I should quit while I'm ahead with the success on Stevie's pipe, because that was as amazing as that thing came out. Like, I don't want to push my luck. I don't want to dare myself to try to make another one just as good, because I don't know if I could pull it off. I might get like 2/3 of the way through and mess it up, and then get so frustrated that I just be like, no, not worth the headache and the heartache. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's what it is for me. I put my heart into the designs of these things. So I was thinking of making at least 5 or 6 bowls to put up, and then I was gonna do remove that. I was gonna do one of these guys. Use my EDC tray to dump the. I was gonna do one of these. And this is out of cedar. But it's like a change chalice is what I like to call it. I end up putting all my not that guy, but I put all my USB sticks and bracelets and all my SD micro SD card guys. I throw all these in it. It sits up here by my desk on top of my printer with all that crap in it. It just holds all those things in there. But I mean, essentially, it's a change chalice, and and I had a piece of cedar that was right about the right size, and ended up making a very pretty piece. But it's all naturally found wood from the environment, so they're gonna have imperfections. So like that one has a couple of spots where the wood was wanting to split a little bit. That I had to put in a bunch of super glue and filler and different. I had to do different things. I had to band it. I had to put a wire band around it in that process, and letting the glue dry for a solid 48 hours before I could go back to turning it again. So there's always the chance of that happening, to where a normal wood turning project that would take less than 3 hours becomes something that requires a lot of downtime and waiting time for that gluing to dry and cure 100%. And then it becomes like a 5 to 7 hour project. And that's why I love wood turning more so than I like making furniture. Although I don't mind, and I somewhat enjoy making my own personal furniture for my own house, for my own family, and the sake of the fact that I'm making it. Every piece that I build is to a certain size and a certain design, and totally custom to what my needs are for the piece of furniture in itself, whether it be a what they call a hall tree bench uh, that has the full backside with the hooks to hang up coats and jackets and stuff, to end tables, to my freaking bed frame I built entirely by myself for our queen size bed. We're not very big people, so a queen size bed is pretty much, we don't need a king. I'd rather not own a king size bed. Yeah, but yeah, bookcases, whatever the case is. As far as custom furniture, I don't mind doing it if it's for me, for my family. But I can't stand the idea of having to make identical pieces over and over and over again. Every single one of them being the exact same dimensions, the exact same measurements, exact same cuts. Just like, it's just the monotony of doing it over and over and over again. It and the loss of the creativity in the design. It kills my motivation to do it. So like, even with the wood turning, with making bowls, every bowl is going to be a little bit different from one another. I don't make any. I will not sit there and try to make duplicates. Same thing. And I mean, sometimes sometimes one of the standard bowls ends up turning into, at first I'm thinking that I'm going to make a standard typical bowl, and then about a third of the way into shaping it, I end up going in this direction and making a chalice thing like this, or I realize, or I've run into the issues of there being knots or whatever, or I end up getting some chunks, get some tear outs happen or whatever, and so then I can't, have the diameter that I want. So then I end up making something like this, you know. So then I end up making something like this, which kind of sucked because I mean, it came out. It's a beautiful piece. It's a nice little, fairly deep storage container. The only thing that sucks about it is that my cigars are just a little too tall for it. I can't quite fit a cigar in this. It's about 4 centimeters too long. The cigar is about 4 centimeters too long. So yeah, I know. B&A he wants me to make that pepper mill. I have the kit. Was it you that sent me the kit, or was it ATK? I forget. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, people, but I cannot always remember who sends me, and not like I've been sent a bunch of stuff I haven't, but the handful of you guys who have. Okay, then it was probably ATK that sent it to me. But I have a peppermill kit. I just haven't found the right blank or the right size piece of wood that I want to use to make it. But it's there. I have it, and I have an idea of what type of wood I'm looking for. I just haven't come across a piece that I think would be perfect for making one. Yeah, there we go. LCAP sent it to me. Thank you. Like I said, there's not many of y'all that have graciously sent me some things. But yeah, and I've got the Purple Heart. I've got wrapped up and stored under the bed on my side of the bed, saved for doing a very beautiful ice cream scoop handle is what I want to do with it. And I've just not got around to order the scoop part, but I am absolutely. I mean, it's on my list of things to do, but I think B&A, have you seen my helmet rack that I did? Let me show you. It's on my channel. I did. It's a very, very short video clip. I'll put the link in the chat here. Give me a second to get to it. It's where'd it go? I thought I put it up on the channel. Did I not? Sorry. View playlist. It might have been. It wasn't a short, was it? We go back to shorts. No, it wasn't a short. No, it wasn't on live. It's not my motorcycle playlist. Where did I do that video? It would have been towards the beginning. It was before all the Blade show. The countdown to Blade show. Before that is before my Spartan Harsey. No, it would have had been in there. I may have just put it on Instagram. It might have just been a short on Instagram. I'll have to take some photos of it to show you what mine looks like. Because I don't think I have the file. Do I have the file? Where's probably my motorcycle stuff is probably in fun stuff. But yeah, I made a nice helmet. It's a stand that mounts onto the wall, so you're just going straight into a 2x4. So you just need on the wall that you want to put it on. You just gotta find your 2x4 stud to anchor it directly into. There's my Ruckus. Where's the my Rebel? It takes me forever to find shit on my computer. I'm so bad at labeling things and organizing things. Just do. I don't know what I would if I would have titled it Helmet Rack. Or what? No, it's not there. It's not my fun stuff. My dad gets on to me whenever he sees my my desktop, and he's like, "I hate your organization. It's not organized." I'd be like, "Well, when I look at your desktop on your computer, it doesn't look organized to me either." But it's kind of funny. It's not there. If I just put helmet into the search bar, what's it gonna bring up for me? I'm ending up being boring for you guys. You think you need a whole ass cabinet for all your gear? Yeah, I'm thinking in the laundry room I need to do like a whole shelf across the one wall that has um like a stopper. So have the shelf be angled, but then have a stopper strip of wood that keeps everything from sliding off of it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I want to do it. But yeah, just have a whole shelf that I can put helmets and gloves and gear and have hooks hanging from underneath of it. I don't know. I don't know how exactly. I mean, there's so much up in this noggin of different ideas of different things I could do, things I can make, and I kind of just get burnt out on the not feeling like I just don't have the time to do any of it, so it never happens. Uh, and that kind of sucks. But yeah, I want to say it was on Instagram that I did a short. If I go to my Instagram, is it on there? Go to me. Go to Reels. Yeah, here we go. It's on my Instagram, and I did it after pretty much like I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after owning my bike. It's, I had the helmet, and then I bought my summer riding shirt, that Kevlar shirt. Here, let me present. There you go. All right, y'all take a look at that. And that was all I did. I mean, when I first got the bike and all I had was, the half shell helmet and then the full face helmet and the jacket. Like that's all I really needed. But now that I've got two helmets, or plus Riley's helmet, so three helmets on top of the well, four, I guess, if you consider the half shell helmet, the dome helmet, turtle head helmet, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, we've got four helmets, and I'm looking at getting a fifth one soon. Hopefully, if I can try to pinch my pennies and still have enough for Blade Show. And then I've got two jackets, so I actually hang one jacket over the other now. Uh, and then I've got some tank bags and my gloves. I've got four different types of pairs of gloves, and yeah, just the gear is just like, I'm trying to go as slow as possible and not accumulate too much too fast, but it's still it's a rabbit hole that every single one of us who rides a bike, has a motorcycle, goes down. It's an inevitable rabbit hole. Inevitable. And we love every bit of it because we love, gotta have all sorts of. There's so much cool riding gear out there, and I'm on my second set of saddlebags. and my second sissy bar backrest for the passenger, and I think I'm doing really well because I haven't swapped out foot pegs because I haven't found ones that I absolutely are 100% would love to have at the price I would love to pay. So I haven't done that. I did swap out the exhaust on it. So I mean, I've done a good number of things for the bike, but I'm still under $1,000 for all that stuff. I've kept it, haven't crossed that threshold yet. So I think I'm doing pretty good. Uh, I don't count tires as part of that because if I did, tires were stupid expensive. But yeah. So how many more days? Who's counting for doing the countdown for Blade Show? Aren't we somewhere around 50 days? I don't remember. Was somebody doing? I got to get ready to do the 30-day knife shorts that I did last year. Do the 30-day countdown with the number blocks. But let's see in the messages in the chat. If you don't know, there is, I believe all of y'all do, there is a chat on Instagram or a messenger thing that's for Blade Show. I think all of y'all are probably in it. Scott N was at least, he posted, when did he post that? He posted a little while ago, 64 days, but that was on April 4th. Was that April 4th? So that wasn't too many days ago. Yeah, it's slowly creeping up. So I will be doing a video on advice and like recap over how Blade Show was last year, and talk about that and hit up some key recommendations that I would care to give advice from my experience and what I saw everybody else do, as well as what I did and what I'm gonna do differently this year, which is not much other than not camping. I mean, I loved camping, but it made it a lot, and the big problem was is how far away the campground was from the show, and how it kept me from spending as much time at before and after the show hanging out with everybody. So I'm not gonna camp this year. I'm actually gonna staying in a hotel that is less than a mile away from the Galleria Center. So I will be very close and will not have to travel very much in order to spend time with people and hang out with people. So that's going to be a huge plus for this year, for me, at least. Yeah, let's wrap it up, shall we? I don't have anything else to talk about. Y'all are probably bored. Some of y'all have already bounced out of here, so I'll see y'all in the chats and in the other lives and here and there. Robert, I have not gotten a chance to do anything with Doom lately. Probably for two main reasons. One, this is the time of the year where my daughter is playing soccer and my son is playing baseball, and just this year with finances, and some personal stuff that's going on with my wife, and court battles with her ex-husband. We've just kind of been, money's been a little tight, and I've been working. I've been trying to get as many hours as I can at work for being part-time. A part-time employee that's getting 25 to 30 hours a week. Hold on a sec. Drama. But yeah, so I've not had the time to go spend a day down there with him. I don't know how busy he's been, but he's kind of at this point he's kind of in the mode, I think, of hanging on to some pennies and getting ready to go up to Blade Show himself. So I don't know. I mean, it would be nice to get down there, but I just don't know. I do have a trip in the middle of May, going up to Atlanta area, in the south side of Atlanta, whereas Blade Show's on the north side of Atlanta. So I so I will be riding the bike up to Atlanta in the middle of May, about 3 weeks before Blade Show, for something else with my daughter, who's having an argument with my wife right now. Oh, teenagers. But yeah, let me let everybody go. Not that I'm holding y'all, but but thanks for stopping by. Sorry this wasn't a little more entertaining. I really didn't have an agenda today, and I know I was late. And LCAP, no. Yeah. Okay. So here's the lowdown with that, and y'all keep this on the down low. As and truly, honestly, I was thinking about that pretty much all night last night. Well, not all night, but I was thinking about it last night and today while I was not really doing much at work. But yeah, Ed lives on the southeast side of Atlanta. Blade Show is kind of like on the north central / northwest side of Atlanta. He's about maybe 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes or so from the where the show's at. I live all the way down in the bottom corner of Georgia. So for me to get up to Blade Show, it's if you pull it up on the GPS from point A to point B on Google Maps, it's like 4 hours and 54 minutes or whatever. In reality, you're having to stop for gas and bathroom and or food. You're having to make at least one stop for that kind of stuff. So, and then with a little bit of Atlanta traffic, you're looking at a solid 5.5 hours. You really are. You have to account for that from where I live up to where the Blade Show is. And then, for Ed, it's about 45 minutes. Granted, he doesn't have to make stop, but he is going through the traffic that's around Atlanta. No, I said about it's like 4 hours and 54 or 44 minutes. It's something like that. It's just a little bit under 5 hours on Google Maps. But so yeah, so with me, I basically account for 5.5 hours, especially on the bike, because the bike I've got to make an extra stop for gas because the gas tank is only 3.6 gallons, where my car is like a almost 15-gallon gas tank. So Yeah. And I gotta stop at least twice to stretch my legs because that's over 5 hours on a motorcycle. That's not a freaking touring bike with a cushy ass seat. Is not it's not something that most of us can do. Um, yeah, we should all just camp at Ed's place. No, because in the mornings, and granted, I say he's about 45 minutes from the show. That's just with Google Maps. If he's got to go through any amount, just mild Atlanta traffic, that basically adds another 15 to 25 minutes for mild traffic. For in the mornings, especially that Friday morning, trying to get to Blade Show by trying to get there by 10:30, he's looking at an hour and 25 minutes to an hour and 40 minutes. It basically doubles because of the amount of morning traffic. Workday traffic in the morning in Atlanta is god awful. Yeah, 30 minutes basically becomes an hour. Um, so, and here's the thing: is I'm riding my motorcycle up for two reasons. One, it gets way better gas mileage, and then two, um, I can get in and around the city much easily, far more easily than on the bike than in my SUV. And then the third thing is I can go and park like 3 blocks away from where the Galleria Center is a shopping mall center where I can park out in that parking lot with the motorcycle and not have to worry about getting towed. As long as I park in a different section of the parking lot each day, so that it's not always in the same spot, yeah, I can get away with for 3 days of being at the show. I can get away with parking there for free and not worry about getting towed. If you park in the exact same spot of the parking lot in a vehicle, you're somebody might notice and somebody might have me towed. But as far as where I'm staying, because I'm staying in a hotel, I am getting a special deal on my hotel room because of a family member. And I can't say the details because technically it's supposed to be them staying in the hotel. It's going to be under their name. I'm just listed as a guest, as a second person in the room, but technically they're supposed to be there. So I'm kind of doing something that's a little, tis tis, shame on me. But it ends up making the cost way lower, way lower. We're talking like 70% off hotel rate, and that's kind of all the only reason why I'm not camping in the campground is because I can get that hotel cost as low as it is. Um, so because of that, because of my particular hotel situation and what I'm having to do, I'm kind of needing to be very stealthy going in and out of my room and being at the hotel so that I don't get this family member in trouble. Um, so I have to not draw any attention to myself. And so for me to stay there being listed as a guest is one thing, but for me to have another person whom I would then not list as a guest, that's too many, too many bodies going in and out of that room that's not listed as the main person who paid for the room. He's listed as the person that's supposed to be attached to the room. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, as much as I would have loved to been, and I seriously, if I was not paying in that situation for the payment of the hotel room, I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, have said, hey, look, you're gonna stay in my room with me, because I don't snore. I'm relatively quiet. I'm not gonna be there at the hotel room hardly at all, because I'm gonna be at the Airbnb with where Stevie and his gang and Sharif and Forrest and Snuz. I'm gonna be hanging with them as much as possible, and then at the show and uh, the other group of people that I like to hang with that will be there. I'll be spending time with them too. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm the hotel room is just for a dry roof and a pillow. That's all it is. But yeah, I would have loved to have been able to be like, Ed, you're bunking with me, dude, and not ask for a penny from him for it. I would not have mind that at all. But because of my situation, I kind of can't. It would be a really bad idea. Really bad idea. I already have to pretend like I'm not there as it is. But all right, I hope that that is understandable, and I hope that Ed doesn't think that I wouldn't, because I absolutely would, because he's an awesome dude. But yeah, if I had an extra $300 to $500 to be able to get him a room for at least one night and buy him his tickets for Friday and Saturday, hell, I would do that. If anybody wants to do a little small fundraiser for him, I mean, I'd be more than happy to throw 25 $30 his way to help. Um, just because I want to see him there. Like how for a guy that lives less than an hour away from the place, who's as involved in our community as he is, and such a stand-up guy, like I want him to be at Blade Show. I want to see him there. I want to see him having a good time, seeing everybody. I mean, that was the look on his face, how much joy he had in his eyes and on his smile, of how wonderful he felt to get to see, shake hands, give hugs, have a small conversation with everybody that he had. Like after because I wasn't gonna hog him to myself, but watching him meet and greet everybody and do that, it was very heartwarming in itself, just to see that man get to do that and spend that time. Because I want to say was he there for both days or just one day? It was Saturday when I saw him. I think he was just there for the one day. um I don't know if the hotel, the way the reservation works for an employee staying in a hotel, um I don't get to, or they don't get to choose the room until you do your mobile check-in. So on that day, I think up to like 4 or 6 hours before your normal afternoon check-in time, you can do a mobile check-in, um, and that's when you get to actually pick whatever rooms are available. So I don't know if I'll get a king size bed or if I'll get two queens or whatever the hell they are. That part really does. I'm not big on hotels. I really could care less. I mean, I've stayed in hotel rooms, and I've stayed in a hotel room, suite in Hawaii that was felt more like a condominium that was like $900 a night. I've stayed in hotels like that, and I've stayed in hotels that were $44 a night. So and a lot of everything in between. I'm not big with hotel rooms. I don't really like them that much. I don't really like hotels that much. I'd much rather be in a campground or at my own home. But it's a little too far. It's a little too far from the house to Blade Show. So, yep. Let me go. Let me wrap it up. It's already 5:25. Holy shit. Yep. There's I gotta missus and I gotta figure out what the hell we're gonna do for dinner. But y'all have a good one. Take care. Much love to everybody. Prayers for everybody who needs them. I know a few, but not everybody. And there, Maddie shows up because you just finally got off work. Did you get off work or did you finally get home? Yes. Oh, what the fuck? You're too late again because of the fact that you're 2 or 3 hours. Yes, I'm leaving. Maddie, it is. I have bored these people long enough. I'm surprised there's anybody still here. um, I will try. Yeah, you just got home from work. I know how it is. There's this big chunk of time difference because you don't live on the East Coast where you should be. Everybody should live on the East Coast. No, I'm just kidding. But uh you Maddie, you're doing your late night live, right? I'll pop in there for a little bit. I'll be in the chat there for a little bit. Do you know if it's just going to be you and Stevie, or is Sharif going to join y'all tonight? And I don't know how. I'm sure Sharif is very busy still these days. See, that's what I'm saying. We know where we're supposed to be. That's what it is. We know where we're supposed to be. Now, I've not been quite that close to where you live, Maddie, but I have spent about 3 weeks of a summer out in Cimarron, New Mexico, which is about an hour and a half to a little less than 2 hours, I think, from Santa Fe. And I've been to Santa Fe a number of times. I've driving from California back to Georgia, drove through New Mexico and Arizona, and yeah, and took the long way across Texas. But that is a boring drive, by the way. If you go from San Diego, the bottom of California, across the bottom of all those states, going through the center of Texas, where it's like the longest stretch of Texas to have to go route to take. So what? LCAP? Am I hearing something? Maddie actually mailed something? He got something mailed to somebody? That was fun on Wednesday, teasing him about that. That was great. I'm glad you got. I am happy when mail gets to anybody. Oh no, he mailed it to you. He mailed it to you. Well then, forget it, Maddie. Instead of being in my live, you need to put some packages in the mail, man. I know you've got packages to send out to people. So let me cut this short. And and Maddie, go mail some stuff. Get these packages stamped and addressed and get them to the post office, mister. Y'all take care, and I'll see y'all later.